Welcome, welcome. It's Thursday evening, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. So we are live with the founder of Liberty Aid Academy, John McCaig, and tonight's show, No Detainment with Your Trust. That's the title we got going for tonight. I'm excited about that. Talk a little bit about that. And then I saw some other questions inside the classroom tonight. Some people asking me some stuff, so want to go over that as well. But I was just pulling these topics off of what comes in the bundle, which, as we know, the price is rising in, oh, it's about 34 days, maybe
Yeah,
34 days
yeah,
next month on the 14th.
of March. Thank you, Tim.
Yes. And good evening.
Yeah. Tim Judge in the house. Thanks for being here. Thanks everyone for being here. If you have any questions, if you have any like what's going on, what are they talking about, just ask and we'll answer. Mainly it's how to use this trust, and I'm an accountant, so it's like I teach you all the loopholes, what you could do after you open your trust at the bank and stuff. What can you do with your trust? Well, how does your life change? And Tim is picking like a topic every show, and we're doing that, which is funny. It's kind of hard to tell what we do because I'll explain it honestly, because we decided to start working on this a little bit, because to get a payment gateway, it is so hard. Telling the truth, it has been so difficult for so many years for me to get paid for my information. You're like, no, so like if you look at our website, you don't see the word debt. If we use the word debt on our website, they would remove our payment gateway many times. I've been to I've applied for maybe 50 payment gateways, and been denied for almost every single one of them. Because I'm a writer, and I'm a performer on video. That's what I am. I'm a writer and I'm a performer on video, and I'm banned basically from using certain words, handling certain topics. Quit complaining about China. Honestly, who cares? We got enough problems right here, and I have all along. I can't even name the courses in the school after what they do. I couldn't get
Right.
paid. I couldn't get paid if I did that. Period. Cannot get paid for America. If you look at, but you're like, what are you talking about? Like all these other websites have debt on them. They're all liars. Almost all of them are government run websites if they have the word debt on them. Like, who runs payment gateways? The banks and the government. You can't get one if you're telling the truth. Period. For me to find a payment gateway that works, even with what I do now, I can't even talk about the backbreaking effort of getting the words together and the different designs for websites and all this crap that I have had to go through. It reminds me what I had to do recently with a plumber. My well is just no good, and I needed county water. So the plumber took like a day to do it. He was like, once he got the permit and whatever, like he just came and like cut all this junk out, puts in a pipe. It was like a 4-month process because the county, it's insane. And listen, this super nice lady that organizes all the guys that, some lady has to do that. She just finished her phone call at the end, like, and that guy at the county can kiss my butt. I'm like, what? Like that's as mean as she ever got in her life. Like, it's just really funny. What we're up against, especially me in my everyday, day to day, is really indescribable until someone gets near me. We got somebody signing it.
Yeah, he's I think this is a joke, but maybe start a trust called Bad Bunny Trust and run everything through that. I don't know if you saw the Super Bowl halftime show, but
Yeah, no.
I don't, and this is on me. I don't speak Spanish, so I couldn't understand what he was saying, but
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that. But that's funny. Yeah, there's some players out there that are anointed and probably have a payment gateway no matter what they do.
Thank you. It's been really incredibly difficult. So I bring because people are like, what's going on? What they're going, what do they do? So we're going to put a banner on them and sort of not rename them because their names are their names, but just say what they do. Basically, like the main benefit they address, like, real estate tax exemption, you know what I mean? Like things like that on there, just as a banner across it without changing the name. Oh, we got somebody signing in here.
Sterling says, excited to be here with you live. John and Tim, yes, welcome.
Thanks for joining in, Sterling. Yes, you've been going on. You asked deep, step-by-step questions, details. That's good. Keep it up, man, and we'll get you there, whatever your questions are. Good to hear from you. In the classroom, I'm talking about, we have a private forum for students, and yes. Sterling is like, here's my questions. Like everyone. It's great. That's what I'm here for.
Frank's here, says greetings from North Texas.
No, Jay Baba. Good to have you, Frank.
And who's this one? DD Rosa?
That's DD, yeah. Who could that be?
Who could that be?
In the house.
And Christopher Lyons. Well.
Yeah.
Well, right, welcome.
In the well.
Sterling says he's literally your most annoying client ever.
No, are you kidding me? No way. I love people that ask questions, but I roast some of them, so they're like, "What? A little singy, right?" And it isn't bleeding anymore. It's like I cauterize the wound, you won't, like it's like I am annoying like that, but I'm like, don't worry, everything's fine. Get out on a stage, you sing a few lines, and everybody claps. Yay! Okay, that's it. You did it. You open a trust. Woo! It seems, because we're so programmed, right? It is hard to get over the programming that we have. That's the main part of why am I here every Thursday? Like, God dang, how much proof y'all want up in here? Like, how many wars I got to win up here? I win them all. Like, I win every time. Like, everything works every time for everyone. Is like, so helping people is fun. Most of what I'm doing is getting rid of people's programming. I'm like, did you check out all our proof? Did you check out our 100+ testimonials? Did you check out, like, how can you figure out what the lawyers, you don't even know what they're up to. The lawyers, the accountants are there, and then you're like, they have 1 billion laws. They just do what they want to do. Basically, that's it. So we had to find a way that's really simple to hack the financial system, and this does it. One of the things that I got coming up here, like I said, I'm adding a few courses, and one of them, like this no detainment. Tim brought this up, no detainment. Once you sign up with God, let's just do the topic of the show here. Let's jump into it. Okay. No detainment is, can they put the handcuffs on me and take me away? It's like, if you're doing evil things, I say, open a trust, don't do anything illegal. That's it. Hey, like, just do legal stuff. Generally, don't intentionally, hey, now I'm running a cartel. No, don't do that. They're going to notice. That's not good. But if you're just living your life, this is really good because, again, this is a Christian loophole built into the system by the IRS. I just used the loophole, then copyrighted it. Okay. And so the loophole is, you all can sign up with we, the devil, and we trust. That must mean, that whole script must be real. Okay, I'll do Jesus Christ. Okay. That's the hack. It's a Christian country. I'll use that God. Hopefully you're real. And it's all real. So, and the IRS respects it. So it's a Christian hack. Okay. Meaning you change your affiliation from the devil, and now you're under the power of Jesus Christ. It's a Christian hack. This is a Christian legal method built into the financial and legal judicial system, all of it, that operates fully throughout the system. Sounds impossible, but it's not. So you're out of their jurisdiction. And so if you sign up with a trust, you're not doing anything illegal and stuff like that, they can stop from, taking you. If you're doing stupid stuff, well, they're not, God's not going to block them. But for me, going into court, for example, I've tested this in different places. I could go through a list of things, but like when I used to go to court and initiate, stuff against the banksters, because we're slaves of the bankers. Everyone, doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter how your ego's running tonight and how your pride of ego. It doesn't matter. You're a slave and you're really not doing anything about it. You're just a slave. How are we paying for land? Who lives here? Us. Who are we paying? Who we're enslaved to? You see what I'm saying? You go to the bank. Does the bank ever sign a document? No, not in the USA. A banker never puts pen to paper. Oh, you're gonna make a contract with us, the bank, and you're gonna borrow money. Yeah, okay. Sign these papers. They don't sign. That's not a contract. If you're the only one that signed, who can change any paperwork that only you signed? You. That's the law. That's the law. So this is a magic trick, and we're slaves. And you're slaves. It's very good. It's magic. Oh, it's not a good magic trick. It's one where you're slaves. Oh, and so I would go, hey, if you run up a credit card and you're the only one that signed, how can you owe money? I don't get it. Like, to who? To yourself, you just say, well, I don't owe money because you're the only one that signed. That's the law. Who's going to change the contract? You.
Right. And I just, if you let me add, and this was a question that was asked to me earlier, again, back to the public versus private, it goes along with this, that if you're dealing in the public with the court system or in business, anything like that, that's the public. This is a private trust, which removes you from the public realm into the private realm, which means I live free under God and no one else, and your public comes secondary because I have set up this trust and now remain private. And so you'll have to deal with me in a common law court, which is uncommon, and stay outside of that public realm where everyone is programmed to understand. And that's why they don't understand that, well, if it's a private trust, I can't tell anybody. No, that's not the private part of the trust. It's private because you're removing yourself from the public entities that go on, like a publicly traded company. And it's a public company. It's the US government is a public operation. We are now in the private, which is completely separate or very separate from the other entities that are all named under the public realm, correct?
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Say it. I've heard that before. But to me, that's talking and words, and it is a private trust, but really that means one thing. You create it yourself. In other words, you don't use a publicly licensed agent just to
Right.
create it, like a lawyer. You don't go to a lawyer. You like, oh, I'm going to sign this myself. Again, this is different. This is a covenant. Okay. This isn't a contract. This is you. Where's your God, by the way? Could he come in and sign? Could Jesus Christ come in and sign? Can't do that. Can't do that. And the devil, who I met with, and I met, in a body, doesn't sign. Doesn't sign. Every time you hear about, Faust is signing up with the devil doesn't sign. Doesn't sign. Doesn't sign. It's just you. So this is a covenant. It's an individual choice you make it as an adult, 18 or older, right? You got signed up by parents into the in God we trust. Hey, you're with the devil. We got hoodwinked. We didn't know, but you're with the devil, period. So you can make a choice, 18 or older. This is a copyrighted method that I have, the only Christian method that exists. You can sign up with Jesus Christ. It is possible. I did it and, met with the devil the day I did it in the bank and was offered $485 million cash not to open this trust by the devil sitting next to me in the lobby of Chase Bank at 4:45 p.m. in Tucson, Arizona. You know, on 3/14/2016, our anniversary is coming up. That day, I'm never going to forget that time of day, nothing, no way. So, yeah, private, public, and so on. I heard that talk, but listen, it's okay if you want to say that stuff, but if the cop is in front of you and they got a gun and handcuffs and they want you, and they're going to attempt to take you, who's going to stop that? Not you, God. And so when I would go in the courtroom and initiate, hey, could you please follow your laws because the bank didn't sign anything? This is slavery. Would you mind please take this off the credit report at least? You could pay me back, you know what I mean, for this slavery. But no, I just want it off the credit report. Could you do that? And when they went to go and chain me and throw me in a cage for bringing up the law to them in a courtroom, God stopped them. And I'm not in a cage. And they freaked out because it's on their cameras. Like, no, you filmed everything. I didn't, but you did. Like,
Right.
and that same day, the judge started the proceedings by saying, Mr. McCaig, I just want to let you know that all the judges of Sarasota County gathered before this, and we all just want to know one thing. And I was like, what? Could we do anything to get you to not come down here again, please? I'm like, and that's before the bailiffs got frozen solid because they knew it was coming. Because they knew who I signed up with. I signed up with Jesus Christ. They're afraid of him. Yeah, they just tell me to my face that they worship the devil in the courtroom. They haven't told you because you're a nobody. You ain't been down there 50 times. You're a nobody. You don't know because you didn't do what I did. So I went down there. They want me in a cage, and I'm not in a cage. Here I am Thursday nights. They don't want me on the internet. They don't want to give me a payment gateway. They don't want me to be breathing. Okay, period. And they have tried to murder me a couple times face to face, the cops. But they cannot, God holds them from raising the gun and putting it to my head. I'm like, here, actually, I don't want to be here. Could you please, actually, I'm not gonna, I'll just I put my hands behind my back. I'm like, could you please? I was seated on the beach here in Tacoma Beach. 5 cops come up, sit around me. It's like 10 p.m. I'm just sitting there. And they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, finally. God dang, and this is what's taking, I've been trying for a long time. What's taking y'all so long to get down here? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, kill me, Yeah, I put my hands behind my head, I do it. I'm tired of doing this with y'all. Try to pull that gun, nothing. Finally pulls out the flashlight, shines it on me. I'm like, I fell over laughing on the sand, cackling like a baby. You guys are ridiculous. I'm like, you're annoying me. I'm getting my stuff. I'm walking away. That's what I did. And when I'm, in the courtroom, when I brought up they did all the paperwork I asked the judge, and then the judge is like, hey, any more questions? I'm like, yeah, I got a question. Who were the trustees of the ego we trusted that thing over your head? And the judge says, get him. And the bailiffs are frozen solid halfway across the courtroom because God froze them solid. These are simple facts that, anyone can unlock. This is the information that exists here. We can be saved. I was just like, oh, we have a God that can save us because who do we need saving from? We're slaves to the bankers and the government. We're slaves. So if my God can't save me from that, you're a useless God, period.
Right.
End of story. I have no use for any God that can't save me from my slavery. Because what? Ethically, morally, and legally, right? And as a man, I must murder my enslavers to save my brethren, my children, my offspring. How do I not murder and all their progeny, every one of them? Make sure they never procreate. If they're enslaving people, which they are, that's legal, that's moral, that's ethical. But I don't do that because I'm a Christian. I sign up with God and please murder them for me, God. I was like, yeah, no, I have a day for that. But I'll freeze them solid in the meantime so they can't touch you. So I got my 6 feet, just like they talked about. I got my 6 feet and they're afraid of me, right? Why aren't they knocking on my door? They know I am every week. So I'm just being real. Like, I don't always bring this up, but we're doing Tim's like, no detainment tonight. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I put the link up there because Christopher asked if anybody could join. That's not the link. This is the link. The StreamYard link. So if you click that link, you'll come into the back room. Give me a thumbs up signal, and we'll bring you onto the show, and you can ask your question live.
That's fantastic.
Make a testimonial, whatever you want to do. But I think Chris might want to join. So yes, please do. But yeah, the Detainment was one of the many courses that come in the bundle. So I figured we should address, what comes in the bundle. And I didn't know if you were planning on keeping that in the bundle or,
keeping it's very useful information to people. I don't know,
Yeah.
we're pressed upon as slaves at some point to, to call, like, who are you with? Like in the Bible. And like, oh, I'm not with that guy. Oh, you're not? Okay, we're taking it. I'm with that guy. Oh, well, and we can't touch you. They ask. So, they're here for a purpose at the Truman Show. At Disney World, check on your soul show we got running here. That's all that's happening. They're required to constantly test us until they're afraid of us. Like, they're afraid of me. Why do you think I'm happy all the time? Like, they make my life hard, but I make their life harder. Otherwise they wouldn't be like, hide that guy, try and scare him. Don't get anywhere near him though. Don't let him film any weird stuff around. Like, that's gonna really mess things up. Like, yeah, totally. Step back.
I think we have a guest that wants to come on. If you want to give us a thumbs up, I think Sterling's in the back. And all right, here he comes. There we are.
All right, Sterling.
Everybody's favorite classmate.
Yeah.
Inside the schoolroom.
I'm definitely asking I was like looking for questions like mine. I'm like, all right, well, he said you can ask anything. So
yes.
Yeah.
He talks about anything. He must want to get a tough question. I love him.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank
you.
So
So because I've said this on the show before, did you actually use the search bar and didn't come close to the question you wanted answered?
Yeah. I looked in all the threads that I could.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna put it in my headphones because my dog is having a freak out. Sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah. So I just looked and there's two things that I didn't see information on this clawback idea, because I'm talking to many lawyers and they're saying if you move assets into this trust, you're still subject to being clawed back because they're seeing other types of trusts are obviously not your trust, John, and they've seen assets get withdrawn from those trusts in the past.
They have a story,
right?
But they don't have proof. They told you that, but they didn't show you proof. They just said that to you. Is that true?
They showed a record of a ruling where the court ordered that the assets be removed from the trust, but they didn't show me like a receipt of here's the.
Not that they were involved in.
Themselves. No, this is public record. Yeah, it wasn't that case.
Yeah. So I'm just giving you, I've got 15 years of proof and over 100 testimonials from my work and other people doing my work, and they have some ruling from. I just know what they have. I know what you were told because I've been doing this 15 years, and they always say the same thing to everyone. Yeah, but listen, you should be very, very afraid. We got a slave on the loose who's not afraid, and that's a problem. And that's Sterling. Put all your resources on the Truman Show. You know what I mean? Start the win. Drive all the crows together. Don't let him leave. Send in his buddy with the beers. Have a drink. Hey, Sterling. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Knock on the door. Hey, how you doing, Truman? Hey, have a seat, man. What are you so upset about? Here you go, buddy. Let's hit some golf balls. Yeah, your buddy, the lawyer. That's nice. Keeping you on the island at Seaside in Florida. I love it.
I think
just so many times, dude. And let's just go to every large law firm and maybe medium-sized law firm in the country and in the country of Canada has seen this trust at this point.
Right. I think let me just add and qualify. Sterling, you're talking that the guys in the court or whatever, they're showing you that some lawyer's trust or banker's trust or something else got clawed back, not John's trust. Right? They didn't classify it as this
No,
Liberty
no,
Aid
of course,
Academy trust.
of course they're not.
Right.
They don't,
Because
they don't
all
use
those
the
guys,
trust.
those lawyers and CPAs, they build things that have back doors, and and they want to break them back down, and they say, oh, you're protected, but until they don't want you to be, and then they'll say, oh, here's the ruling, you've got to reverse all this. But that's not what they said to you about
Well,
this
there's
trust.
there's that, but let's just say, has anyone gone to any courtroom ever in their life, in the history of humans, and gotten justice? That's never happened. I mean, let's be real. I've been there 50 times. I mean, laws are fake, 100% fake. If you don't have God on your side, there's no such thing as anything except for slavery. They impose laws, they steal assets, they do what they want to do.
Right.
I don't care. We're just going to tell you it has to go this way. You're going to sign them up, but they're thieves. And if there's a loophole to steal money away, they will tell you, oh, that's a way to do it. So you got to give it to us. Like, no, I ain't even going to your stupid courtroom. How about that? Like, and if you want me there, fine, I'll bring God. And that becomes a problem if I go. They ask me not to go. Please, sir, don't come. Like, I talk about reality and I talk about proof, and these liars get to everyone. You know what I mean? We've had someone like you on here before, wasn't that a few months ago, whatever, right? Maybe a year ago now. And he's like, yeah, but my old attorney who's watched over and screwed me over all these years and screwed over a couple generations of my family, she says, you know what I mean, that she would like to continue screwing us over. You know what I mean? In other words, be afraid of this guy. That's just the way it is, man. Like, I got proof, they got lies. They don't have proof of anything they have done, especially what they have done for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's you will know them by their fruits. This is a internal battle. This is a game against yourself. You play the game against yourself and no one else. Right? If they have their hooks into you mentally, you will do as they say, period. So
Well,
we're
see, that is the tricky.
what they have to say. You see, they have no proof. But go ahead, Sterling.
Yeah. I thank you. So I what's hard for me to do in the position that I'm in, because again, I'm still new to your work, right? And I'm trying to follow and see all the proof that you have.
Yeah.
It's just that there's very few examples, and I can understand why, if people are using your trust and they're in a situation like mine, they probably don't want to talk about it. They don't want to necessarily draw attention to themselves. I mean, I saw Jerem's testimonial, and it was extremely helpful. Like, he's awesome. He's very positive guy.
Roxy Wright is one you should look up. Like, her family runs a really large business that does landfill reclamation for the government under a government special license that they had to apply for. Been doing it for years, and they operate under the trust with all their heavy equipment. Roxy was on here. She had open heart surgery. She had to go to hospital a whole bunch of times because she had the trust, and everything was in a trust from her business. She had a $6 million hospital bill, and she paid zero.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, I don't know what money you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, people have come with a lot of money to my show with a lot of money problems and have cured it in a way that is absolutely impossible. And, since we're talking about detainment and stuff, not only does, you may not know my work, but this gets you out of death too. Like, she can't be killed. You see what I'm saying? We're nearing the end of the time loop, is all eternal life means. There's no eternity. Sorry, everybody. But you get to the end of the Truman Show. Hey, isn't that great? No, but you're stuck here. Like, death is better. Sorry, you don't know that. But, you get to live until the last day. You don't know all the information here. I do, because I signed up with God early. Okay, crap, now I'm working for him. You got to tell them the truth. Yeah, they don't want to hear it. But I got proof. And then I got to deprogram, the human race. It's not easy. So that's why I'm always focused on, hey, please, could you do a testimonial and show your miracles with paperwork and everything? Because that's what brings people to this work. Not that,
Right.
just that I did it all myself. I can see my whole history, but then everyone else, like that's the only way to bust through the truth. And that's why I'm always on that, not just with you, but if anyone shows up here, it's like, hey, don't forget, you will know them by their fruits. Look for proof. If you could do that, you'll be fine with me.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to Roxy as well and hear a story. Yeah, like hospital bills, I know kind of follow a different set of rules than like other types of bills. Like I've heard of just people just in general, just like sacking up a huge bill and just not paying and then not really facing any consequences with hospitals in particular.
Yeah, but
I don't know why that is.
we could go through every benefit here. Like, I know someone who's got $280,000 of student loans right now. You know what I mean? Never pays a penny, never will pay a penny. And their credit is fine from that. Perfectly fine. Nothing bad on the credit. No problems with utilization. No problems with numbers. No problems with that. Whatever. Just took the government money, got the degree, and don't pay them a nickel and use the trust instead. Then there's I love this. Church came to me. The IRS was going to make a ruling. They already had a judgment. And they were going to make a ruling on this guy was in his 80s, and they had 3 generations of Christian ministers. They come to me. They're going to make a ruling. They already had it. It was 1.2 million, and it was going to basically end the church. They didn't have the funds or anything like that, and they come to me with this problem. I was like, when are they going to do the ruling? They're like, oh, dude, we got less than 2 weeks. I was like, just put everything in the trust, open a bank account, put church property in the trust, and they did. And the IRS, who was going to get the money from them and all that, didn't even have the next court date with them. They knew what was up, and they knew where they were beat, and that was
they just canceled it. They just canceled the court date.
Yeah. Why take a chance on God showing up, cameras running? Then they got problems in the hive up in here. You know what I'm saying? If word gets out that, oh, hey, they're not actually in charge. Did you know that? Like, that's the important information. Setting the slaves free is what I'm here for. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I start them in the bottom chakra with the money. Hey, I'm worried about the money. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. That's so easy, right? I got the MBA. I'm a, master's accountant. Look at all my proof, all that stuff. The financial system was easy as pie for me to beat them over there. I did not know it was linked to a spiritual war for real. I was like, okay, so I beat you on that one too. So I beat them both. Great. So eternal life and get out of Texas. Like, can't get out of death in Texas, beat them both. And many other things with proof. So this is a deprogramming show, basically. I'm glad he came on. Because honestly, why don't we ask these people that claim to have such knowledge about all our assets and our finances, our money, our life choices, and give us recommendations, and we don't ask them for proof? An accountant, like, where are your taxes? Like, first thing I go in the office, let me see how you did on your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, where's your car? If you have a mechanic, he's got that thing out front. Where's your car? You know what I mean? Like, it's show me your work. You will know them by the fruits. Like, if they don't have proof, why are you working with anyone? Like, who doesn't have proof? I need a well dug. Well, how many wells have you dug? You know what I mean? You got photos, like, whatever you do, you need proof. Why in this segment of society do they never have proof? There's a reason. They're lying and they're evil. Everyone else, like, hey, I dig wells. Here's the photos. Go ask my client. The rest of them, no proof, none. No, oh, we got confidentiality. What are you talking about? It's public record stuff. Where's your proof? Yours. Post it up here on your lawyer website. What have you done? Yeah, no.
John, I think that this comes to mind for me as also a business person, is like, if there was a way where, even if it's within the community and it's not like public, where like people could organize their testimonials according to like what problem the trust solved for them. I think that would be like so remarkable. I understand that's probably
No, that's a
might
good
be
idea because actually that's what I'm working on right now at the
Oh,
school
okay.
is I started a show because trying to explain I can't get a payment gateway if I name the courses for
Right.
what they do.
Right.
I can't
I
do
can
it
see that.
in the OSX. So I've had to name them with these weird fucking names. Now I'm going to give them a banner and I'm going to make some videos that explain how these all tie together, what they do as the next courses I'm making for the update on 314 is how they all link together. You know what I mean? And why this works. Because I have them out there individually. I talk about it collectively here, and I used to talk
Right.
about it a lot. But now I'm like, I just need to focus. These are all the things you can get. Like, just break it down simply. Like, I'm doing another video soon and I'm listing all the things. Like, if you're becoming a senior by their phase, right? Well, my person, that corporate fiction becomes 65, right? May the 4th be with you, of course, right? So, and so I'm like, how can I take the most money from them? You know, period. Before then, so you have to do all these hoop jumping things to take the maximum. I always want to take the maximum from them. So putting that together and giving a person nothing and giving it all the shields of Social Security, EBT, like all the free government stuff, and you have nothing in your bank account. To thieves, you have nothing. Why are thieves going to try and steal from you if you legally, literally, your person has zero? Thieves don't steal when there's nothing to steal. You never hear from them ever. The only shot they got is them lawyers up in your ear on the left side of you, right? The devil up in there whispering in your ear right now is their only shot. They may send you as a pretty girl too. They got that. And that's some BS. I'm kidding, man.
That'd probably be the most dangerous thing they could send, right?
And she'll show up in the next week. I guarantee it. Tell me about her. Yeah, I guarantee it. I actually guarantee it. No, I'm prophet too. So tell me what color her hair is. Yeah, no, send her. Great. Christopher's here. Great.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Dude,
Welcome.
I love the way you make videos. I know that I say this every time I talk to you, but it's just so helpful the way you make testimonials. Like step 1, step 2, here's my thing. Dude, it's so helpful. I just thank you for doing it. It makes me like, this is the plumber I want. You know, my God, this guy. He's so careful with everything. Thank you for the work you do, Christopher.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Jack. Sterling, great to be with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Welcome.
How are you doing? What's going on with your stuff?
Well, I'm so blessed. You know, I'm 50 years old this year, and I actually, for the first time in my life, I'm living in a house. I actually live in a house. God wants me to live in a house.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm in a house
It's
too.
wild.
After
Yeah.
being homeless and going to get some bakers, I'm in a house too. I was like, what did I say in this last bit, we're going to win. The ones that sign up with God are going to start to win because the other ones are watching. So I'm really happy to hear this. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, it's a testimonial for Liberty Aid Academy, but also for Jesus Christ Trust, really, because it's the spiritual technology that like is imbued when we let go and when we deprogram, like you're saying, you know, like there's so much deprogramming that has to be done. And so I'm getting ready to do another testimonial about, oh my gosh, the rapid change that is going on. Like, and the good news is it's not about the money. The money is just cream. You know, like money's great and it's flowing, but it's really just about like being like of service to like God, like 100%. Like when you have the trust, you can go 100% in. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to have any block or, you know, preconceptions about how to live your life. You're just like, how am I here to serve? Like you just tune in and like, let's go do this thing. And that's been beautiful. Like today, a customer actually called me an angel, like literally called me an angel, like brought tears to my eyes because I was able to help them. The reason I'm able to help is because I'm living from the trust, right? And so like from there, you can just give everything and just then be free to do whatever you need to do or whatever God wants you to do.
I agree with you. Like, I don't hold back. Like, I'm here to serve people with the truth. I show them a proof. I will apply for 50 payment KV. I work for God. I'm not going back to God and say, oh, hey, no, the excuses won't work. So what I hear what you saying is the way I serve too. And I don't serve with limits. If I'm there, like you're a plumber, if it's still leaking, you pay me for this, you're going to do it right. Whatever it is, you're going to complete your process of service correctly. And that's the way I do too. Whoever shows up, like I'm going to complete my service, particularly for them, until they have their information, they have what they need, and my service is over at that moment for them. So that's the way I live my life too. I appreciate the way you said that, man. That's true. That's the way I do it too. And I've turned around knowing that, and knowing the game I'm in, and knowing they had to get me here, these actors of the Truman Show, I now pray for them as I go. You know what I mean? Because they're stuck here without us praying for them out. Like, that's the reality. Like, once we wake up, it's like, you all, they're actual slaves here. If you're running the carny, you're stuck here. We're moving through.
Exactly.
You're having the biggest problem.
And I'm not trying to paint a picture like everything's perfect now because, I'm in the trust. It's actually, 100% harder, because it's real. But the thing is, you get a more like a feedback. The feedback loop is like the results are just so much more tangibly like alive. Like, and I don't know if that's too esoteric. But the quality of life is just completely different because I'm not 100% free. God has me on a plan, to let's prepare this credit. Let's start this trust. Let's get this vehicle. I'm partnered with these people right now because they get me, because they understand me, but I'm not, like limited to that. You have to admit your limitations now. Like, how am I a slave still? Right? Like if you're not going to admit that you're a slave, then you're not even going to be in the game.
Yes. The way I think of what you're saying too is the way I organize my time and efforts. In other words, if someone's going to show up and try and waste my time and efforts, like I said, somebody's coming for this guy in Hollywood Squares this week. Ladies coming, they're trying to waste our time. And so once you know the truth, you're not dead ending down this dead end and that dead end and this dead end. You actually know what's going on. You don't have to, oh, hey, what's going on? You know what's going on. So you're actually really much more careful about your service. Hey, I got to get today right because of my karma. Like, you're like, whoa, there ain't much time left. I can't do everybody else, but I could sort me out. I could do my thing right today. I could do my service right today. That's all we have. We can't deprogram everyone. We can't fix everyone's plumbing. You know what I mean? In the world,
Yeah.
You're there that day helping them. You could do that right. You know what I mean? That's what we have. That's what I hear you talking about, is not spending time out there where it's wasted anymore. Asking for proof. Oh, you're with God, I'm gonna help you. You know what I mean? Oh, you have a leak, I'm gonna help you, like that. That's the way I work too.
Yeah. So we in one day, like literally, like my wife was saying, yeah, maybe we should think about, because we were living in an apartment. I was living in Oregon for a while as a regenerative agriculture farmer, and that was like during COVID. It was like I was out in the wilderness, building a yurt, like structures and doing all this stuff, and we came back to Southern California, where I'm from, and we lived in an RV for a year on a ranch where I had a work trade relationship. And just it kind of set me back to square one. And I feel like that's kind of the game that the banksters would push me into my whole life, where I never felt like I could get ahead. It was always like, okay, tax season's coming around. All right, let's cut this much out of your existence. And so now it's like the graph of my finances is like that, and it goes like this a little bit, but it's just like that. So all the money that I make, as a plumber, like I'm making like $1,000 a day sometimes, because I'm in such demand, because people can tell I'm honest, because people can tell I do such a thorough and good job. And so it doesn't dip. in the spring, and I'm going, what is going on? It's been about a year now, and my finances are just going like this, and I know they're not going to dip in the spring when in tax season comes around. I don't have to pay a tax preparer. I don't have to pay the actual taxes. I don't everything is just like the compounding interest, conspiracy is kind of in our favor in a way, and for once. And it's been like, oh, it is possible, because my whole life I've been studying this. My whole life, since I was 20, I was selling, gold bars for information about libertarianism. You know what I mean? Like, I was very enlightened at a young age and all this stuff, but yet I could never break free of these certain limitations, right?
Yeah.
And the trust sets you free. It's true. Jesus sets you free. Jack sets you free. They all set you free, but you have to get the trust.
Yeah, and then you also get the truth. So you have a new foundation of reality based on the truth and proof. And once you have that, you don't waste your time at so many other things. Michael is here helping me. I got these 2 houses. They're in the trust. I'm doing a lot of work here, but he signed a trust. He grew up here, so he's taken his winter time down here where it's warm, where he grew up, and helping me out fixing up the back house now. And everywhere he goes, somebody's always like, dude, you got to charge more. I'm like, no, I won't pay you that low. I have to charge you. I'm paying you more. And he's like, I'm just doing stuff everybody else is doing. And I'm like, no, dude, you're trustworthy. You're trustworthy. That's why everybody wants you working for them all the time. Not because you're cheap. You're trustworthy. Like, hey, can you climb up and pull that wire down and fix this thing in the bathroom? He gets up in the attic. He's like, hey, you don't have junction boxes up here, man. Like, you need junction boxes. And, I'm like, dude, thank you. Cause I gotta put HVAC up there. I want the junction boxes open, and they're working up there. They wouldn't have told me,
Yeah.
But Mike is up there. He's like, this extra work for him or whatever. But he's like, hey, you need this, man. And I wasn't going to be up in the attic, and he was. Being trustworthy is the huge thing that, all these financial hacks happen. But now you're not just spending side time where it shouldn't be spent, and spending side money where it shouldn't be spent, and all that. It's just like, oh, I'm serving people. I still have my own time, but I'm not wasting it all over there. And I'm not pissing away money back to the government, taxes, all this nonsense. All that's gone. So it is a steady rise for him too. I watched it too. It's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear this, man. Because having, losing it all in a crash myself and having my family destroyed and, moving into a picnic table instead of a house, that was a lot to learn from and come up from. And I know they have us way down there, and they always kick us down so far that rising up from that in a steady way is super important at some point. And then eventually it kind of like, we really make it. And I agree that only because they want us as slaves. They don't care about the laws, courts, none of that stuff. They just want us constantly on this hamster wheel, never figuring out this information, and they're never afraid of us. That's what they want. But no, that's not what I'm here for. And eventually, after we get, like you say, steadily climbing up, we become a real force out there in earth. We're with God, and they start to fear us. Not like the lawyers got a last minute attempt to get in their ear because once God is on our side and all this crazy stuff happens, we're like, what? God is real? Like, y'all are afraid of me. Like, you start to see it, And so we're the ones with the heart. We're trustworthy. And so we can actually focus, like you're saying, on what we're good at, serving people, reaping the rewards, and, being able to sleep at night, know where our bed is going to be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a great difference in life.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. For all you're doing. I mean, that you've done. I mean, like, there's so many fakes out there. Like, I studied maybe 20 different people doing trust, doing sovereignty work, and there's so many, and now there's so many people I just realized that are just straight up copying, your work. And this is the play. Liberty Aid Academy is the real deal. It's the source, is the fount where all this information is coming. And finally, like, you get so they like just trying to get on this call. Like I was literally like, I'm a smart guy. Like I know technologies. I've built websites. I've sold websites I've built. And I couldn't even press a link to get onto this live. Some force is trying to keep me from talking to people because I know my coworkers are out there listening to me, other plumbers who could be in this, who are 1099, who could be in the same position and not have to be, you know, raped every year. So like a lot of people are going to be helped by me getting this out, you know, and sharing your work. So of course things are going to, you know, strangely happen that keep me from saying them.
Agreed. I'm Tim sitting here co-hosting my show. I loved it what he said. Yeah, I got 3 children in college for free right now. You know what I mean? I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm here to help families for real. Like mine got destroyed from them. And I want the opposite for people. And I show proof what's happened, and then lives change, and then people come on here and make testimonials. That's all I want. I want the reverse of what happened, what they did to me. God gave me away, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll tell everybody, whatever. They can't kill me, yeah, I'll tell everybody. For sure, I'll tell everybody every Thursday. You know, I'm never shopping. It's too helpful. It's too helpful. Like, if I had only known, I wouldn't have to go through all this suffering. That's why I see these people suffering. If you only have this information, they can't mess with you no more. Your family, your assets, the people, your loved ones, your children, they can't mess with them anymore. It's what we've always wanted, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, and it's like I did a lot of deprogramming around my religion, and realizing, you know, like how much mind control there is there. And so it's really refreshing to have, you know, a group of people, have a teacher like yourself who is honestly like I start telling people about it, and they say, oh, you're trying to get me into a cult? I was like, yeah, a cult that is empowering on every single level, that puts you in control and connection with God. Yeah, come join the cult, you know, because it's insane. It's insane when people, you know, because there's so many out there that are so destroying people's lives, you know, in little
horrible. Everyone that comes to me eventually, people really see the truth in what I'm doing, and some people just absolutely, you know, give their life to me, which I do not take. I work for God. Right. Off you go, live your life. I don't want your assets. I don't want to be on your trust. I'm not gonna be those things. Like I got to God, I met with God. That's what I want for everyone else. Your assets are safe. Your family is safe. They're not gonna mess with you. You know all the information, so there's nothing hidden. You can make responsible decisions because you know everything now. Okay, and they can't mess with you. Okay, then you can actually serve. You can actually work for God. You don't not worry.
That's why it's so hard to believe.
Yeah,
because it's so simple.
It is so simple. It is.
The truth is so simple.
Do we have time for me to ask another question, or are we about to wrap up?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I don't want to steal too much here.
No, but fire away. You're not stealing anything. I'm here to answer questions. Go, Stroke.
Thank you. And I'll be back next week because I got so many. This is great. I'm so
excellent.
If we do this, man.
Come every week.
So I was looking at I was trying to find like what the IRS precedent is on how they've ruled on the definition of church, because there's apparently some like there's been some cases on how they view the 508c1a exemption, of course. And one of them, I'm sure you're familiar with it, Jack, is the Western Catholic Church versus Commissioner. I think it was in the 70s when this guy, he set up a 508c1a corporation. I don't think he obviously didn't use your trust because you weren't teaching back then, didn't have it set up that way. But he tried to say he had businesses and stuff, and he was like sending money that was the profits from his business into this trust. But eventually, like, he went in this huge long court case with the IRS. They viewed that even though he was a minister and he had congregants, he was like he was like leasing his building to the 508c1a church. And so then the IRS said, no, you got to pay us back taxes for like the last 8 years. Now, I know one of the things that he did wrong, obviously that he did wrong, is he requested for an official exemption. So he sent in a request to the IRS asking for an exemption, like them to give him a piece of paper that says yes. And that was a mistake. Obviously, you don't teach that. We don't do that. We don't like ask the IRS for permission. And at the same time, it just put into my head, like, how do we know? Because he was arguing, I think, the same thing of it being a convention, not a church. So how do we know, based on the past case law with the IRS, that like if a business is run out of it, like in a technical sense, like we're buying and selling services or products, I know that you're doing that the IRS can't come calling one day and say you owe us money for the last 10 years or whatever.
This may seem like an offshoot question back to you, but do you think there's been a school shooting ever, really?
Do I think there's been a school shooting? Like people shot and killed at schools?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say yes.
No, of course there's not. Of course not. If you're a slave to the bankers, you don't go shoot children. You go shoot the bankers. Duh. Like fucking duh. No, there's never been a fucking school shooting. That's fake. IRS rulings are fake. You weren't there. Our whole script in front of us is fake. Everything is fake. There's no space. There's no anything they say doesn't happen. You see what I'm saying? It's fear-based control of reality. You weren't at that thing. I don't go for secondhand anything. I invited people. I initiated on Facebook 16 court cases, battle to the death, cage match, Sarasota County. These are the days. Come down and see if I die. I did that. Okay. And I went, and I'm alive. And everyone could have gone down and see that this trust is real and God is real. And the bailiffs were frozen solid. And I walked out of the courtroom and they're afraid of me. I did that. There's no proof of anything else that's happening, what you say. You see what I'm saying? This comes down to proof. Fear and reality come down to proof. Okay? No one's done anything like that, just me. I still have this is still in place, by the way. $5,000, you can try and murder me, shoot a gun at me in public, right? $5,000 if you have an EBT card, $10,000 if you don't have EBT. It's a $5,000 discount if you have an EBT. You can try and murder me on camera. I'll stand there. I'll sign a paper. Hey, it's no problem. I can't be killed. And you can watch that. That's reality. The rest of it's just not real. You see what I'm saying? Like case law precedent. Why are they not here at my door now? I'm handing out these trusts. There's this. I have posted the information. This property right here is in the trust. I'm running a business out of the trust. I'm here on live saying it. Why aren't they here? 15 years. Why aren't they here? You're afraid of your stuff. Come on, man. I'm the one setting everyone free and all the assets free, not just your individual assets. Why aren't they here? You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to use logic at some point and not the script that is the programming it guesses. Like, programs are written. You're like, I'm reading from the program and it says this. Yeah, I know. It says all kind of, lions and tigers and bears. So am I. Now I got proof.
Okay. So
they don't want me in their courtroom because I'm afraid. So that's why I'm not in their courtroom. Challenge.
I don't mean for this to be a stupid question, but do you have, like, you mentioned 15 times that you were in a Sarasota court, and was you're saying in those 15 times you were inviting someone to kill you for put a bounty on your head? Is that what you were saying? You were in the court?
No. I have like for getting donations for my church, Jesus Christ Trust on that. That's just a side thing that I do. Hey, to raise money for the church, I'll prove that I can't be killed. And if anyone wants to try and murder me, I charge a donation amount. You could donate $5,000 or $10,000 to the church. You could try and shoot me on camera. It won't happen. And then, I got proof. And thanks for the donation. So, Had a couple of years out there doing that.
But it wasn't you like going to court over an asset or something.
No, I've been
to
to court.
trust or tax law.
I've initiated over 30 court cases in Sarasota County. You could write Tammy, contacted LibertyAidAcademy.org and get all the court case records and stuff like that. No problem.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll ask her.
Cool. Just email her. She's like, here you go. Here you go.
Awesome. Yeah, Tammy's been great. I love talking.
Tammy is. Oh my God.
She's amazing. Yeah, you lucked out having her on your side. She's great.
Oh, God res everything. But yes, I did luck out. But thank you, God. Like she's that level.
Yes,
Agreed.
yes.
Agreed. And Tim's got another gig. So let's continue this next week.
Next week. All right.
You're both awesome. Love the questions, Sterling. Keep them coming, Christopher. Dude, you were really helping a lot of people the way you document what you do and the way you serve every day. You're an inspiration, sir.
My pleasure.
God bless you, brother.
God bless you.
Good night, y'all.
Thanks, Tim.